Good morning to each and everyone. I am your discussant, Krisha Sireboka, and I am about to discuss the topic under remedial teaching strategies, which is the reward scheme. So first, let us know or discuss the terms in discussing the topic. So based on the Google Dictionary, a reward is something that is given or received in return for doing things like service, hardship, merit, and so on. It is also a thing given in recognition of one's service, effort, or achievement. So simply reward is something that is given or received in return when you do something good or when you do positive actions. And then scheme is a large-scale systematic plan or arrangement for attaining some particular object or putting a particular idea into effect. So simply, scheme is a systematic plan or an arrangement. So let's move forward to our main topic. So, an effective behavior modification system within the classroom often includes rewards. So, what is reward schemes then? So, reward schemes aims at guiding pupils to set their own objectives and plans and positively reinforcing their good performance. So, reward scheme helps students to increase their interest in learning, and reward scheme also has a positive impact to the students or to the learners' motivation. And no matter what reward is provided, the most important thing is to help pupils cultivate an interest in learning and gain a sense of satisfaction and achievement during the learning process. No matter what reward is provided, either intrinsic or extrinsic reward, the main point here is to help students to engage themselves in learning. Through a reward scheme, students will show interest and increase participation in their everyday classroom tasks, duties, and responsibilities. So using a reward scheme, students will show interest, and also students can feel excitement as well because there are rewards that are waiting for them, or there are rewards that are offered by their teachers as they finish or successfully accomplish the task or activities that their teacher has given to them. So through that reward scheme, they are motivated to perform well in a classroom or to study well in doing the activities and tasks that they are assigned to do. So students are motivated to achieve and conform to appropriate behaviors when either intrinsically or extrinsically rewarded. So there are two forms of rewards, which are the intrinsic and extrinsic, in which I will further discuss as we continue. There are learners or students that experiencing learning difficulties, and they are suffering from frequent frustrations in their work, where it leads them to gradually lose their interest in learning. Therefore, teachers should adapt the curriculum for them to meet the needs of the learners, and wherein they can also set or design interesting activities in which it can stimulate the interest of the learners. it is important to help students to cope up with their learning difficulties, for them to gain a sense of achievement. So, when designing the rewards offered, remedial teachers should take note of the following. First, remedial teachers should set clear and specific targets. For example, requirement on the score of dictation and number of assignments submitted. So in the example of number of assignments to be submitted, for example, you as a teacher, you can say that in a semester, you can or you will able to submit 10 assignments like that. So in telling that thing to your students, you set your specific target. Second is remedial teachers should set achievable objectives. So your objectives should always be SMART. So S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevance, and T for time bound. So the example for here is that objectives like students will create a family tree like that. So it is an achievable objective, right? Another is student will create a new song in the tune of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star like that. And third, remedial teachers should give diversified rewards. So in here, including verbal commendation or prizes to accommodate pupils' interest, give rewards instantly. So as I said a while back, the reward has two forms, which is the intrinsic and extrinsic. So including verbal commendation, wherein it is an example of an intrinsic reward. When we say intrinsic reward, it refers to internal, or it is intangible, or it is a form of reward in which we cannot see or we cannot touch. So for example, a student recited during your discussion, and using the intrinsic reward, you can say words like, okay, thank you for that answer, or very good, or you can say that you have a good point, or through those words or through that kind of praising, it is a form of reward in which student can motivate, because a student receives those kind of positive words, student can feel happy, or student can make smile. And the prizes to accommodate pupils' interest, it is included, or it is an example of the extrinsic reward. So extrinsic reward basically is the opposite of intrinsic reward. So extrinsic reward, it is external, or it is tangible, wherein it is a form of reward that we can see or we can physically touch. So extrinsic reward is a reward in a form of material things. So for example, there are students who got high scores as the teacher conducted, or after the teacher conducted a quiz or an exam. And by using the extrinsic reward, you can use material things, or you can use food as a reward, or for example, you can use a chocolate for a reward. So a chocolate like this. So this an example of extrinsic reward that can also motivate the students, or it can be a thing like this, or you can use a brand new pen for a reward to your students. So that is an example of extrinsic reward. Fourth, remedial teachers must review and revise the reward scheme regularly, because in reviewing and revising your reward scheme regularly, you can change a little bit to your set of rewards. For example, last time you used the extrinsic form of reward, which is tangible form of reward last time. So you need to make a revision of your reward, wherein you can change your reward to intrinsic reward. For example, your last time, the students who got high score received a reward a chocolate, and they can predict or expect that when they have a quiz again, the reward is a chocolate again. So you can revise your reward scheme or your form of reward into intrinsic. For example, when you conducted a quiz and then the students who got high scores, their reward is in the form of intrinsic, wherein those students will be exempted to the next quiz. You need to review and revise your reward scheme regularly for the students to continue feel the excitement for the rewards that are waiting for them. And lastly, remedial teachers should invite parents to help children improve their work. So remedial teachers holds meetings regularly. So inviting parents, for example, a PTA meeting like that. So as a teacher, you can tell your parents of your students that there are students who loves or who wants to praise or who wants to receive the rewards in the form of praising or in the form of receiving gifts or material things. So based on your observation, you can also say to the parents of the students that they can also use rewards to motivate their child or children to study hard and to increase their interest in learning. In conclusion, students have different capabilities in learning. There are students who learns through visual, through audio, and such. So there are students who has difficulties in learning, or what we call the slow learners, and there are students who shows less interest in learning, in which the remedial teaching strategies can help them with the reward scheme, because as we can see that using rewards, it has a big impact, or it has a positive effects to the students, wherein they motivate them to actively participate in a classroom or in a class. And also students who receive rewards either in the form of intrinsic and extrinsic rewards tends to increase their self-confidence to perform well in the classroom. So that is my report. Thank you for listening.